Hello guys and welcome to the Two Touch podcast mini-series where me, Matty Downing and Alex Woolerton will be taking you through some little series where we will be talking with some of the people we have met along our footballing journeys and our coaching careers. We'll be speaking with parents, we'll be speaking with coaches and some players that we've had the pleasure of playing with as well.
On today's episode, we're very lucky to be joined by Two Touch parents, Danny and Ben. Both their sons, Auckland and Louis, are training most nights, whilst Danny and Ben are running their own businesses. And we're going to speak to them today about what it's like travelling here, there and everywhere, taking your kids to training, and how influential parents can be in their development.
Any parent that says they don't want a child to be a professional footballer is a liar.
I'll put it out there, I'm not a good parent on the sideline.
You're a nightmare, are you?
I can find that out well and truly. Time my dad had know what kind of things to say to me just to get me motivated.
We'll take over this podcast.
Yeah, we'll take over.
I like it. Who's asking questions here?
First of all, how are you both? All good?
Good, mate, yeah, thanks.
Good, yeah.
Lovely,
Very good.
lovely. So I'll come to you first, Danny. Just want to know first of all, how busy can it be as a parent or who has multiple children, kind of taking your child everywhere, etc. The costs and stuff like that. What's that like?
It's absolute carnage. You literally, I work for myself and I have to book my jobs around getting back to make sure I can get Auckland to football on time and whereabouts we've got to be that day. So I literally book a job and I'm like, no, I can't come and see you today. I've got to be at so-and-so at 4 o'clock.
I suppose you lose out financially as well, don't you, in some
Potentially,
respects?
yeah. I suppose you do. I suppose if I didn't have to take my football, I could probably work a few more hours a day.
Yeah.
So.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
That's his get out, innit? Oh, son's at football, I can't make it today.
Well, that's my excuse for doing the housework anyway. I can't cook tea because I'm at football tonight.
What about you, Ben? Are you the same? Are you just as busy or?
Yeah and no, I fall a bit lucky because Louise works part-time, so if I can't get to football, Louise can do it, even though I don't want her to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's the catch-22, I suppose, because I speak to a lot of parents and that's like their hobby. I know from my dad says it's his hobby, like going to watch your son play football or your daughter.
Yeah.
It's like what you get enjoyment from. So as much as you have to lose out on other things, you actually want to be there, don't you, and go and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about this all the time. It becomes a social activity, you know.
Yeah.
Your moments you create with your parents, messing around, even though we're all 30-odd-year-olds. It's good. It's good.
It's almost like if Auckland's not so well or something, you go, I don't want to train. And I'm like, come on, I need to go see so-and-so. I need to have a chat about who played who on Sunday. And kind of.
It's nice when you
get
get
Alex going, I'll be talking about football again.
That's it, because I go round and when I'm coaching, I'm looking around and I go to see what the parents are speaking about. And you're speaking about the game, like the kids' game. You're not speaking about normal things like where's nice to eat or anything like. You're saying so-and-so did really well on the right wing, didn't he, on Saturday? And so-and-so's doing well.
It does become like that, it really does.
Well, they say it, don't they? Football is life. Isn't it? Football is life. It absolutely is.
But what we want to know is, what are you guys like as parents then? So obviously you're doing all these things for both Auckland and Louis, but then when it comes down to it, is that just because you just love seeing them enjoy it, or is there also a process where you think they could potentially grow up and be footballers, or is it more just a case of getting them to a hobby?
Well, we're in both in different situations at the minute, but mine's any parent that says they don't want a child to be a professional footballer is a liar, because everybody starts off with that aim, don't they? And that's just a fact, innit, But not every kid's going to make it, are they? But for me, it's more about, like I always say to Auckland, right, if you want to be a footballer, that's fine. I'll take you where you need to go. I'll take you who you need to go see to get the right skills here, there and everywhere. But the rest is up to you, and that, you can take them wherever you want. You can take them to Barcelona camps, eat summer holidays or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's always down to the child, isn't it? And for me, it's a bit more than just being a footballer, because over the years I've played rugby. And I can't go abroad without bumping into somebody in the airport that you've met from playing rugby or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's all networking, isn't it? And you've got these kids who are sitting at home playing on computer games. They go to a kid's party and they're sat in a corner not talking to anybody. You put any kid.
All the other life skills they get.
You put any kid from Two Touch in a room full of strangers, they've got 30 new mates by the end of the day, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I think that's a massive part of why we do it, because it makes your child a better child, doesn't it?
I think a prime example is Hector, that's just been to camp just. That kid has got the social skills of an adult,
It's really nice to see when you see, particularly the younger ones who we've seen the last couple of years come in and they're quite nervous, quite shy, but not also just in a footballing respect, but just at school or at home. And then they pick something up that they just love, and it gets that like competitive edge out of them. 100%. And then you see them at school like being like really confident or a little bit more, whether it's just not even just football, like other different skills that sort of express their emotions a little bit better.
But I suppose it's down to the discipline of football, isn't it? Because if you're disciplined at football, you're disciplined in life, aren't you? Yeah. Any sport, if you're disciplined.
Yeah, I agree. I back that up with Louis at school. Like, even if he goes and does an activity in PE, whether that's dance or an activity that he wouldn't normally do, we always say, like, just put 100% into it. You might not be good at it, but why can't you give that a go?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
No, definitely. Obviously, I know that the boys obviously access different types of training with different types of people. What type of things are they doing at the moment? And like, obviously, what have they been doing kind of over the last few months, over the last few years, who they've been training with, and what different types of things?
Obviously, Louis been quite, various places from you guys to introducing futsal, which obviously futsal's amazing for your ball mastery, which then you kind of introduce into training with you guys. He's done a bit of just boxing with some other parents and children who come to Church Bilal. So yeah, it's good, and he's trying to combine all them to have that what you would call your perfect football, which is obviously never going to happen. But it's every challenge and every task that you do has a combination to different.
It also mixes it up for the kids, doesn't it?
Yeah,
because
keeps it fresh, doesn't it?
they're doing the same things day in, day out. It becomes repetitive, like for anybody. So it's nice to have that like varied. And I always say it's so important for parents to realise that doing different sports as well. Even if like football is your main sport as a child, it's important to do different elements because you can pick up different skills from
We
different.
were talking about multi-sports
Yeah,
last week, you know.
Because I'm on about Auckland starting tennis or badminton on a Thursday because it's away from football.
And they need that breather.
On a Monday, he does some running stuff. And the rest of the week, it's pretty much football. So, but just by having that one day a week where he's not football, he can just do something else. And
I always feel guilty though, like on his days off, Louis' days off, I'm telling him to leave the football alone, like just chill.
Just
like,
trying to get it and just
relax.
Yeah, but you know what it's like yourself. You say, right, we're having a rest day, we're going to relax, we're going to chill. There's football getting kicked around the house.
Yeah.
Do you know, and there's so many parents like
And it sounds stupid, amount of times I've like, will you put the ball down? Like, stop, go watch a film, go do something, but leave the ball alone.
It becomes an
like.
obsession, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're like mini athletes. Well, they are mini athletes, aren't they? It's like if you get a puppy and you take him for a walk every day, it expects that walk every day. And it's same with kids in it at football.
No, it's weird because like kind of that thing in it where, like, say, if they could have a ball every second, every day, they'd have one, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever find that sometimes, obviously, they're obviously training a lot, and it's great that they're training so much. Do you find that sometimes, for example, on car journeys and stuff, or at times they are quite tired and stuff, or?
Yeah, I can only last week when I was travelling back, within half an hour, Louis gone. As you look back and you take away the football side of it as a parent, do you think, is this too much? You know what I mean? Are we doing too much?
You're never going to find the perfect balance,
but that's what it's about, isn't it? Balance.
Yeah.
It's finding that balance.
Yeah. And they'll tell you as well. You can, or even if they don't tell you, you can sort of see it within them. If you take them to a training session, not quite running around as much as they usually are, or they're not talking as much, you can sort of see that with them. Just touching on what Matty says about the car journeys. What are you guys like because I remember coming home from
I know
journeys,
this story, yeah.
Coming home from car journeys with my dad, and if I'd have had like a stinker, like I remember when we was younger, we used to like argue, but then as we got a little bit older, like if I'd have had a stinker, we just didn't speak. Like, and whether it was coming back from Manchester, Leeds, we just wouldn't speak to each other. And then if you have like a worldie, you know, songs are on.
McDonald's on the way back.
Food on the way back.
We might do this different, but I used to be a sideline coach, and on his first game, I'd be falling up and down the pitch, and then I'd be shouting this, and
you get Strava on or not?
Yeah, got my steps in, but clearly I don't do it anymore. Yeah.
Why is that though? Is that because you think that he listens from you more, or is it because you think you're showing him something that somebody's not?
Do you know what? In all honesty, I don't want to sound too harsh, but I didn't like, and again, it's
all right. You can tell him the rubbish.
I think maybe a bit naive. I've come from a rugby background, haven't I? So I don't know the ins and outs and the basics of the football from a young person's perspective. But like, I thought I knew better than coach. So probably me being me. But now we've gone through the whole process of shouting him after the game, to now we go, oh, how do you think you did? Or sometimes we, well, how do you think you did out of 10? And no matter how, it's always a 10. Always a 10, no matter what.
Great confidence.
Yeah, which you can't buy. It's always a 10.
Yeah.
And you go, right, what do you think you could have done better on pitch? So they tell you, and you go, oh, yeah. Or what about this? And now, you know, everyone's got them VO cams and stuff, haven't they? So sometimes we'll watch a game back and I'll go, oh, what do you think you could have done there? Oh, well, I should have done that. So, like, if there's ever a negative, it's always followed up by a positive.
And it's getting to think about different stuff as well. It's not just turn up and playing football. It's like thinking about something and gets him thinking about football, but also it's just getting him used to watching something, analysing something, whether it's football or anything in life, and just picking little bits out of it.
Yeah, but they've got to enjoy it as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they do. They have to enjoy it because, you know, there's quite a lot of dads out there who just drag the kids there to football, and the kids probably want to be there just to wear the kit, don't they?
Yeah.
But I can honestly say, probably Louis as well.
Yeah.
Both our kids just live for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Auckland's been poorly, missed school. Football tonight, yeah, I want to go. I'm like, you've missed school. Like, yeah, I'm all right.
I'm good now,
you know, he's had a sleep, and it's like, he's just like, well, let's go to football. I'm paying for it. You might as well go.
Yeah. What do you kind of think? Because obviously I know that they're still quite young, obviously only 8 and 9. But what, as your as a parent, you know, from a footballing point of view, I'll start with you. Then, what's like probably been your proudest moment to date? What, watching him play, or
Proudest.
can you think of one, anything that sticks in your head, or?
The proudest moment, I don't think I have one moment. I think it's probably like if he comes to you guys or he goes somewhere else and somebody's spent some time and teach him something, and then when he does that in the game, you know, it's a light bulb moment in it.
Yeah.
But my proudest moment in and around football is probably when we were watching football. We used to take him to Ellen Road and he'd just go for a hot dog.
Yeah.
So we went, the last season Leeds were in the Premier League, or they stayed up, and I think the Joffrey skip over keeper.
Yeah, season before.
And we ended up about 3 rows in front.
Norwich, that was Norwich.
And something changed in him.
Yeah.
So now when he goes to Ellen Road, he has to watch his game. So he's not just going for a hot dog, because he used to go, have a hot dog, and I'm like, right, can we go now? I'm like, play 20 minutes, you know. There's a bag of sweet shoes, you know.
Just a way to weave him in, though, isn't it? Because like you get him there through the hot dog, and then eventually they watch a bit of the game, or they listen to the noise of the fans, and once you get hooked as well, you're hooked.
And I think that was his hook moment.
Yeah.
I won't say I was proud of him, but that was when that's when his football really kind of, because he just wanted to play football like every kid does. Yeah. But that was when he really bought into it.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
It was weird because like Louis' development was what I would call slow. It wasn't that he didn't enjoy football, he didn't want to play it. His age obviously suggested that he was a bit behind as well in terms of his development. But when he first went, enjoyed it, liked the social activity, got stuck in, but he was just who he was. He was just Louis playing football. He played for a team that he played for, enjoyed it. But then as he progressed, he had to move on, and he left, unfortunately, that particular team and moved to another, which that environment challenged him more. And yeah, as for his proudest moment, I'd probably say leaving the original team and transitioning to the other team. It sounds silly, I know, but for a 6-year-old at the time to leave a group of friends that he'd made and then have to go into an environment where he might have only known 1 or 2, I think it's quite tough. We might look at it as adults and think, oh, he should do it, but I think as a 6-7-year-old, it's a bit of a challenge. And I thought,
and I remember that moment as well, because you were scared for him.
I was scared for him, saying, I don't want to do it to him. I don't want to, because I don't want to break him. I don't want to. And we had many a chats, and he was saying, just do it. And eventually, like with the coaches, Jez and stuff, there was a really good transition. Yeah. And yeah, the rest is history.
And what about? I hope you don't mind me mentioning, but obviously he's just had some recent news. Surely that's got to be a proud moment. Just to add a little bit of context, he's just been on trial at Bradford City, hasn't he?
He's been on a wide.
And then, do you want to just maybe tell us a little bit about how that 8 weeks went, and then
again,
what's happening moving forward?
As a parent, again, it's another 8 weeks where you think that you know a lot about football, and then when you get an answer at the end of it, you think, maybe I don't then. You know, I've gone across 8 weeks on a roller coaster with Louis, where Louis come home and go, I've not played well, and I'm trying to get him up. And then when he's played really well, I'm trying to go, right, that's fine, just keep going, keep that middle ground. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, when he gets offered a little bit of a deal, I think, you know, I was saying to him last night, because last night, for example, he said, I don't think I'm a good footballer. I said, well, how about you stop judging who you are and let the other people, you just go play football, because you play football because you enjoy it, not because you want to be judged.
Yeah.
just go
and
play.
I think for you guys as parents as well, it's quite a bit of an eye-opener sometimes, especially when you go into those environments and, you know, you've gone from watching your son play at grassroots and then all of a sudden he's travelling to like playing Manchester United or like, you know, Manchester City, and you're seeing all these different coaches and the way they do things. I bet it's just quite nice for you to watch your sons experience those moments, because not everybody does get to experience those moments.
Correct. Again, we speak about these things back to the question before about the journey, you know, the car journey on the way there. I might be saying to Louis, oh, we're off to Birmingham, and Louis would ask me 101 questions about Birmingham, and I ain't got a clue the answers, but he's asking me a lot of questions, and then, you know, Manchester United and where we're going, and the you know, class, you know, the Man United class of '99 used to train here, and he's like, who are they? And I'm like, here we go again. And
do you think, obviously, I know we mentioned about kind of like that sideline coach. Do you think, as a parent, you're kind of always learning different ways?
100%.
I mean, we can talk about having different, you know, situations, and Alex and Matt will probably back me up. Like, I'll put it out there, I'm not a good parent on the sideline. Like,
You're a nightmare,
I can back that up well and truly.
What is it? Matt is too soft. Is that what you say?
Absolute shambles. of referee.
He's put me on the 3 refereeing courses.
Honestly, shambles of a referee.
I think but on the flip side, that's also where it's good for, like, we always say, whenever me and Matt referee games, we try and let as much run, and it's almost sometimes nice for kids to realise that decisions don't go their way and things don't go right, but also it's hard as parents, isn't it, watching if things should maybe go a certain way for your child, but they don't go a certain way, how then you've just got to keep stump.
It's a life lesson, everything's a life lesson.
I do, we speak about it a lot, me and Louis, because I've played football since I was 5 years old again, and I'm a passionate football person still. I'm trying to introduce to Louis, like, football is a passion, it's a courage. Like, when you go on the pitch, go and play with confidence, go and play with flair, don't care. But then when, like, say, small little incidents happen on the pitch, Louis does get quite emotional about them. Like, it is a free kick. I'm like, I probably agree with you, but...
Yeah, but look, I always say to you,
just crack on.
In order to be a good
especially when
in order to be a great winner, you've got to be a good loser as well, haven't you?
Well,
That's what we always say, don't we?
Yeah, but if you lose too much, is that you just get used to it?
I think you can go on all day about stuff like that, can't you? But I think ultimately, like we just said, it's just about them enjoying it, isn't it? And that's why you're starting.
I'll ask you a question there, but you talk about your dad and stuff on the journey, and you know, you had your highs and lows of the music and didn't talk. How did that affect you?
I think you eventually, it becomes like the norm, but I think subconsciously, in the back of your mind, it gives you that little bit like, because not necessarily when I get older, but when you're younger, you think, better have a good one here, otherwise I'm getting in.
I'm trying to understand.
So it gives you a little bit of like, and you know, it gives you like that little incentive as well. If we do well, we're going to stop off at Subway, having like a good afternoon.
I'm trying to get a perspective from Louis.
It gives you a little bit of a drive, but it's always got to be healthy. It's always got to be like, you know, I probably exaggerate a little bit. You have a chat, you have a few crosswords. By the end of the car, kids forget like easily. Like we speak sometimes.
You say that, but they don't always forget the bad stuff, do they? Kids remember the bad stuff. It's like a wife, aren't they? They always remember that time.
But as long as you have a healthy, as long as the relationship's healthy enough, and like on the flip side, most parents are different. So if you have one relationship with a parent where they're a little bit stricter, more often than not, the other one's a little bit more lenient. So as long as you've got like a balance within 100%. The family, I think.
In my house, like Louis' mum, like obviously she's mum, so she mums him, but she's really good at like just telling him the positives, even though if he thinks he's had a bad day, like she's really good at like just lifting his spirits a bit. I think it came from yourself or your dad actually. We was talking about it with Louis, like we can't, because the kind of journeys must be his worst nightmare, Louis, because I'm telling him I think I'm Pep. I'm nowhere near it. Yeah, exactly.
Quicker.
And I think that's just I think it's just because you want your son to try his hardest, regardless of the football. Just try your hardest.
I think probably as a coach, obviously we obviously when we spend a lot of time with the kids know what they're capable of, but probably the kid themselves, obviously. But as a parent, you definitely know the most, don't you?
And that's what I'm saying.
You've seen
them
play the best. You've also seen them maybe play it.
Back to what I think I'm sure it was your dad, Alex, that when me and Louis set a rule now, as soon as we hit that driveway, like no more talk about football.
Yeah,
because when he goes back into his home as well as everybody else, it's his environment.
How did it make you feel when your dad used to roast you?
Crikey, my dad's going to watch this now, and he's not going to be. It's not because at the time as a
Did it
kid.
ever upset you?
At the time as a like 100%.
that's
But
because,
at the
again,
time
it
as a
wasn't-
kid, it's like everything's like the worst thing possible, and it's not like you're angry at your dad. You're more angry at yourself for how you play, but. Looking back, it just becomes like you just get on with it because as you get older, you receive much worse roastings in dress. I've been on the back end of much worse roastings than my dad could ever give me, so it preps you. But like, I also think it doesn't, like we talk about parenting, it doesn't matter too much because you've got me. My dad's so different to his dad.
Yeah.
Like his dad wouldn't say do to do.
Where do you think he was like?
Dad's chilled,
I'm
innit?
sure he used to say he used to roast you, didn't he? Did he used to soft you? And did you ever want him to roast you sometimes?
Sometimes I'd want to get like if I didn't play well, or if I maybe didn't have a game that like I wanted to.
Matt,
He
it's
would kind of
finished and
just
you don't even know what score it is.
Well, that's not a bad way, is it?
He just kind of he was just like, he wouldn't say loads like if I didn't play well, but he wasn't too bothered. Like even when I went to play more, football, took it more seriously. He was kind of like, oh well, we'll see where it gets to. If it works, it works.
Were your dad a sport person as well? Or?
He played like he just played sport. He played a bit of football, a bit of cricket, but nothing like nothing real high level type stuff. But he
If
played.
Matty played bad, his dad would say sorry to him.
Yeah, he's one of them.
So did that work for you, or do you think?
Yeah, I think
your dad had been like Alex's dad, how would you have reacted?
It would always be interesting to go back and just see.
We'll take
Wouldn't
over
it?
this podcast.
Yeah, we'll take
I
over.
like it. I like
Now,
it.
who's
I
asking
feel
the
like I'm
questions
back
here?
and forth. No, I don't know. It's a weird one because obviously because I had my dad obviously growing up the whole time, how I was very much like I felt like I was a younger version of him, and when I do stuff now, I like to see myself in him.
100%.
When I do certain things and stuff, and I think, that's exactly what.
What you were like,
Yeah.
You know when your dad used to shout at you or whatever, or you like not shout at you but roast you a little bit, and then do you think he wanted you to react? And then if he's seen you do well in another game and not make that same mistake, do you think that's what it's
I've
for?
got a little win there.
They just know, like we speak about before, my dad obviously used to watch me and he knew how good I was. So
Yeah.
I think if you ever slip below those standards, it's frustrating as a parent, I can imagine, because you watch your son perform so well and do everything that they're capable of, and then they can go to training next week and not show any of it. So it is tough in that respect, but I think as kids, the relationship that you have with your dad, and over time, you kind of perfect it. Like over time, my dad would know what kind of things to say to me just to get me motivated. And not just my dad as well, whoever it used to be would take me, because it wasn't just my dad who took me to football. My mum used to take me, my nan used to take me. Whoever used to take me, you'd get that different car journey there. I could give away 20 goals and we could lose 20-0 to Liverpool, and my nan would get in the car and it'd be, fantastic.
You were
amazing.
man at match for me today.
That's
we tried
amazing,
loads
but-
of different techniques. Like you say, I've tried not saying a word to Lou before he goes and plays. I've tried talking to him. I've tried waiting just before he goes on the pitch. I don't think there is a right answer. I think ultimately, as soon as they cross that white line, it's how they're
feeling.
Are they happy?
Every kid's different.
Are they smiling?
Yeah.
Are they ready to go?
Yeah.
It sounds stupid. Are they tired?
Literally.
We have a couple of non-negotiables, and it is on his way to football, it'll be right. Work hard, do your best, and have fun.
Yeah.
And
pretty good way
they're
to
the
go
only
about it.
three
Hey,
things.
we'll cut it there. We'll cut it there.
Wait till next Sunday and he didn't find on this.
Up and down sideline again, innit?
Yeah,
But,
big shout out to Unslip under 8s in the under 9s final.
No one knows about it. I don't think.
Yeah, well, though now, won't
What, are they in the final?
they? Yeah, the under 9s coach
that
watching
is it,
the
yeah.
8s train last night, so they must be nervous.
Good stuff. But no, obviously, thank you for your time, guys. Obviously, before you do leave, we've got a couple of a little challenge that we want to try with you. But before we do that, just some quick fire questions from myself.
Are we going just together? Or?
I'll go. No, I'm going to start with. We'll start with you, Ben, which will give you a brand because you'll get them here. So, Ben, I just want 1 2-word answers, real quick. All right.
Go on.
First one. Favorite food.
Everything.
Everything. Good answer. Favorite song.
Oh, it's got to be a Jerry Cinnamon song.
I don't even know who Jerry Cinnamon is.
Belter.
Sound like a
Yeah,
Belter.
Belter.
Run the rest. Favorite football team.
Leeds United, hands down.
Night out or night in.
Night in nowadays, yeah.
Favorite film.
Oh, now that is a curveball. I'm not going to go film, but I've just watched a series, Kin. Unbelievable.
Good. Favorite footballer or sporting idol.
Growing up, what's his name? Because I think David Batter.
Most famous person in your contacts?
Wow. Yeah, there is, to be fair. Old rugby player Andy Lynch, probably.
Nice.
Retired,
Nice.
top bloke, yeah.
Nice. Dinner with 3 famous people. Who are you having?
Mike Tyson.
Nice.
Oh, here we go. You've got me now.
You've got to put a bird in there, haven't you?
Don Revie. Mike Tyson, Don Revie. And we'll go with Michelle Keegan. Got to be on it.
Nice. Nice.
Showing Louise this.
She'll probably agree with me.
Favourite or dream holiday destination?
See, my holidays are a bit different. Louise likes going down to pool, but I'm not like that. Random, but somewhere like North Pole.
Okay, nice. And final one, go-to karaoke song.
Oh, it's got to be tequila. It's only one word in it.
Nice. 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 Nice.
Never thought of it like that, but
I like it.
I'll be using that next.
Go on, Ben. And Ben even. Dan, let's whip through them. Favourite food?
Chips.
Nice. Chips. Favourite song?
Armageddon, I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay. Don't know that one. Should I know that?
Of course you
Don't
should.
want to close my
Oh, right, yeah, no, I do know it now. Now you've got it.
Keep
right.
going.
Favourite football team?
Leeds.
Night out or night in?
I'm a night in guy, mate. Netflix
No,
and chill. Big
that's
bar of dairy milk.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's my
Favourite film?
favourite film. Armageddon.
I'll go for you. Well, obviously, go on. Best player you played with or against in your rugby days?
In my rugby days, I actually did a charity game last year and Danny Maguire in it, but he gave me an hospital ball, so I'll say Danny Maguire.
Most famous in your contacts?
For most famous person in my contacts.
Got to be.
Simon Clifford. Come on.
Big Clifford. Dinner with 3 famous people.
3 famous people. Marcelo Bielsa.
Nice.
You know what? It's not a bad one.
Do you know what? You missed me out, but Gary Kelly was my idol as a kid growing up, so I'd probably throw Gary Kelly in there.
Yeah.
And the third one would
Got
have
to
to
be a bird,
be...
like you said. Don't leave
Yeah,
me
it's
up
got to
by
be a
myself.
bird. Do you know what? Jodie Marshall, my thing as a kid, so Jodie Marsh.
Oh, we're on about gladiators, though, won't we?
Oh, yeah, what was that gladiator? Jet, yeah, no, Jet's Jodie Marshall, full of Jet.
Favourite or dream holiday destination?
I don't know.
Oh, it's like Judith Chalmers, him. He's been
I am
everywhere.
well travelled, mate, so I think
I'm well cultured.
I'm well cultured, yeah. Favourite destination? Well, dream destination, well, it's got a bit Maldives on it. One of them little things with sharks and all that jazz.
Nice. And go to a karaoke song?
Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Easy
Nice.
one, innit?
Excellent.
Nice.
Oh, good stuff.
Right, guys, before you finish, it's a ritual that every guest takes part in our 2-touch You Know the Drill challenge. So we're going to have a little competition. There'll be a little leaderboard. I'll show you through the challenge. But you both good to give it a go?
I'll just get my inhaler out, yeah, I'll be sound.
Welcome to our 2-touch You Know the Drill. 5 different shooting challenges. 3 shots into the big goal against my goalkeeper, Matty. And there's also going to be 2 different types of finishes into the 2 mini goals. So come take a look. Off you go. Good, round. First time coming in, first time. Good, yes, drop in here. There we go, first time finish. Yes, round the right. Good. Settle. Not bad. Drop in. Take a touch if you need. You know what? The first 3 weren't bad though. Yes, round here. Good, that's it. First time finish into the opposite one. Lucky, yes, back on here. First time finish down to Matty. Unlucky, round the right. Let it settle. Not bad, yes, drop in here. You can take a touch if you want.
I like that little stamp, you know.